righty. Good afternoon, folks. Welcome to Smudcast number 472. Why do conservative men love, capital Love, anime girls? Okay, that's a very unique sentence I was never expecting to read. And the correlation between conservative men and anime girls, there must be a scale of affection and hatred and all these things regarding fictional characters and depictions of women, because everyone is subjectively interested in the opposite sex for whatever reason, and we have our preferences, our likes, our dislikes. And apparently this gentleman or person on the YouTubes is saying that there's some connection between conservative men and anime girls as a whole. And that has nothing to say which genre of anime girls, which drawings of anime girls. It's just all of them, apparently. Just all conservative men and all anime girls. So already I'm having a hard time just digesting this sentence.
Just a simple answer to that very simplified, oversimplified question would be that above being pretty, they're also wholesome and funny. Things that socialist women tend to not be.
It depends which anime you're watching, of course, because there's lots of anime where the girls are not cute and funny, like Black Lagoon.
Most are.
But they still tend to have a decent personality. That's the other thing.
Not in Black Lagoon. They're pretty much killers. They're crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. Rev is kind of crazy.
Here's the thing. You can have a killer that still has an enjoyable personality.
Oh, sure.
Watch.
But I don't love them.
Just outright crazy people who you can. Yes, but these people equate enjoying a character to love.
Okay, but when I see
these people equate just basic human emotions to love.
When I see
that's the problem.
Roberta,
that's why they think anytime there's two male characters that have a good relationship, a la Sam and Frodo, they have to be gay.
Okay,
that's the thing.
They
can't separate that.
To be honest, I don't think this person will talk about Black Lagoon.
Oh, I'm not saying this. I'm not saying him specifically, but in general, they don't separate that.
Well,
from what
the problem with fictional and drawn depictions of the opposite sex is it's intrinsically tied into aesthetics. So we have to talk about what is aesthetically pleasing and what is attractiveness to you, and that's always going to be some strange subjective addition to, well, by virtue of being a female and I'm a male, therefore I'm attracted to them on a theoretical level. And then we list all the traits we like, and then you list yours, and we match them up, and we go, these are all different. There's some overlap.
In most anime, most girls are likable.
Usually. And we can go to, what's the
and that
meme?
is what the question is about.
Yeah, the meme is like, what's the big titty goth anime chick? That's the quintessential desire of all weebs out there or whatever. It's like, not everyone wants that. Everyone's different. So we can't already agree upon what is the standard or likable thing for anime women or girls depicted. So
I mean, there's a reason why there will be a lot, harem anime, for example, to have, 4 or 5 different archetype of women.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because they want to appeal to every guy out there that wants to watch the show.
The amazing anime male protagonist is liked by every kind of female out there, and he's just a dunce about it.
And
he's just awesome.
If you reverse where it's, a male harem anime, they do the same thing in reverse, but for women.
Right.
So
I would say most, because I've read a few of those, some of them are just princes. They're just prince after prince after prince. It's just
well, yeah, because that's an easy way for them to explain why
they're tall, they're strong. Some of them are moody, some of them are friendly. Yep. There's always the really nice friendly guy who's righteous, and the really sort of cocky guy who pushes the girls' buttons. It's like there's big contrast between those two. And then they have mixtures of both.
That's like the few times I've seen it's like Fruits Basket is one where it's not like that, where it's just quote unquote normal people.
Oh, really?
Like they're not royalty. Like they're high status, but they're not royalty. If that makes any sense. Like they're quote unquote normal people, with the exception of the whole magic transforming into animals.
They are rich people.
They're rich, but they're not like royalty in Japan. They're just That's why I say quote unquote normal.
Right. So we're not going to go and ask each and one of you why we like or dislike certain anime girls or women in animes, because it's all going to be just this mishmash of adjectives and ideas and examples that won't have anything solid aside from if we did like a larger poll of, let's say, 1,000 people, and they would each say, okay, this anime, this character, these characteristics, and then we'd have like a, I don't know, a web chart going, and that would help, but it would still be a cluster, and we wouldn't be able to narrow in on the actual properties. So this is something that we would do with psychology, with stats, and polling, and this is not an accurate way of doing it. So this is a 44-minute video. It will take some time to go through. We're obviously not going to finish it today. But I saw the first minute, and I was already like, oh, this is going to take some time. So anyway, you guys okay? You're all ready set to go?
Yep.
Yes.
All right. He talks rather loud, so I'm going to turn the volume down. All right. Here we go.
Are
liked because of their virtuous and feminine personality traits.
No, they're not. If you're gonna use this as an example, you like this anime character because she appears weak. She appears demure. She appears at the mercy of the man that was currently talking to her in that way, because she looks more likely to submit to your will. That is what you like about it, and that is a massive, massive example of the fetishization and sexualization of femininity that is completely...
You shut up about sexualization and fetishization. Bloody hell.
Okay, so there's...
This is a girl that is insecure.
Now do it in reverse.
That has nothing to do with submitting yourself.
Do it in reverse when it's a guy that's built like a brick shit house and is like the most massive muscular thing in the world. Then start criticizing that, and then we'll say something.
Okay, because... Yeah, he addressed the ideas that she's demure and she is at mercy to a powerful or more powerful male in either this conversation or such scenario. And you're like, okay, that could be a form of attraction on some sort of animalistic level, maybe? I don't know.
But here's the question. What anime is
I don't even think it... I think this person is just doing drivel, the same old drivel that these people do.
I'm also curious what the context of what this line that she's saying, where she's like,
it's
"I can't
coming
believe
up
you called me
because
cute."
It's coming up because this is like a excerpt of something that will be appeared late in the video.
Right.
Yeah, it's just a preview, but like
Okay.
I don't understand like this editing style. If this is the hook that gets you into the video, it's kind of shit.
Like I understand this type of editing style when it's when it's like entertainment, like they're actively trying to be funny, and it's just like something later in the series or the
Not
show.
like from a
This is some
fucking
preview?
stream that you recorded half
not
an
from a
hour
stream.
ago.
I'm talking like just a video that was edited specifically for like, yeah, this is stupid.
Okay, so in the scene, I can barely read the subtitles in the background because the subtitles are on top of the video. She's shy. She's embarrassed. This is the standard look for girls. She gets shy and her cheeks blush up. And this is pretty standard stuff for people whenever they get some personal information or a boy they like, call them cute or...
Yeah, that's a normal girl.
Yeah, it looks like it
reaction.
says that's the first time a boy has called me cute.
Right.
Yeah, and real girls can relate to that. If you hadn't put your head full of feminist bullshit, you might understand that. Or if you were a real trans woman, you might understand that, because we tend to have those feelings too.
Yeah, it's not some impossible reason like, oh, we're attracted to this female anime character because she's weaker than me, and therefore she's a sexual object. Like, what is this? I don't know.
Like I said, the same drivel.
It's feminist socialist drivel from someone who thinks to be trans but apparently is probably just a cross-dresser full of gender nonsense shit.
Yeah, the other thing he said or she said was the fetishization of women, and I'm like, what is fetishized about a girl blushing and liking the boy who's calling her cute? Like, I don't understand. What is a fetish here? What fetish? Schoolgirl fetish?
It belongs to the male gaze.
That only tells me that this person is just an asshole.
Yeah, like what?
If you can't see that there are girls who are like that, and that there are girls who like being reminded of that because it's a cute moment in your life.
Right, but are we talking like the normal average girl is a fetish, so the tall girl's a fetish, the short, like everything's a fetish now? Like just
it's projection. It's like these people caught on to being called projecting everything all the time, and now they're including with the fetish stuff, and now they're starting to call others, because they always call others the things that they do, call others fetishizing something. Fetishizing cute girls, dude. That's just a normal thing between men and women. Men like cute girls.
It's another case.
Girls like what's the good word? So that I don't play into this toxic masculinity bullshit game that they made up. Confidence. Girls are into confidence.
Most guys like seeing a girl get all, blushy, and they think it's cute.
Yeah, and
like it's just that. But the problem is they're equating a fetish with normal like within the bounds of what we normally would think of as normal within the span of history.
If we want to say all
sexual like interactions,
if we want to say
what
all
they
men
want is all like more oddball stuff to be shifted into that line, so they just keep calling everything a fetish to try to hide their stuff.
The natural reaction to the scene is not a hard-on, but oh, how cute, must protect.
Right, and I don't think all men are fetishizing all women in this generic concept, because it's just, she looks like a young girl. That's it. There's nothing inherently sexual. There's nothing inherently...
It's nothing out of the ordinary.
No, there's nothing I could latch onto and say, okay, this is a fetish here. You can't just say women are fetishized because they're anime or whatever. They have big eyes. It's like, no, that's...
Yeah. When we talk fetish, that usually means something out of the ordinary or something excessive.
Yeah, like a tall girl or a girl with stiletto heels or hair or something. I don't know.
Yeah, this at best is a trope, but it's a real life trope that happens every day to thousands upon thousands of girls worldwide.
Yeah, a trope is just another. But as far as I'm concerned, a trope is just another word for stereotype, and those all have some basis in reality to some extent. I'm not saying they're good or all good. I'm just saying, to an extent, all stereotypes / tropes have a basis in reality, because they have to, or else they make no sense to you.
Yeah, and this by the way happens to both sexes.
Yeah.
Oh, a guy or girl that I'm into noticed me. Oh, blushing. Oh, what do I do? Oh, embarrassment. That is the most natural reaction ever. You call this fetishizing? You're sick in the head.
All right.
Get a therapist.
Here is,
for example, like... Oh, go ahead.
Here's the Milked Man. Thanks for the one there. I'm not taking the word on sexualization from the most sexless creature I've ever seen in my life. On a better note, I recently got my PhD in misogyny, and I can't wait to start my career. Well, you're ahead of all of us, sir.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty awesome. Yeah.
That's based.
A good example of just watching two well-written characters both getting blushy and like embarrassed at each other. Fullmetal Alchemist, Ed and Winry. Like they just act like two normal, lifelong friends who realize, oh, we like each other.
Yeah, and Ed at the time,
and they start.
At the time, he's shorter.
Ed's like, yes,
he's a short guy. He's a midget, and Winry's taller, and she's not demure. She's a tough girl. So.
Yeah, she's a great character, but she is still feminine.
Yeah,
and that's what's for example in that show as well. She gets like, for as strong as she is, she has her moments, especially when it comes to Mustang. She has her moments.
Yeah.
Even
the strong women in anime, the strong women and girls in anime are still girls and women. They have not lost that part of them. When we see all these SJW and feminist and whatever characters, there's nothing feminine about them anymore.
All right, so let's try and
let's keep going.
Yeah. Okay.
Be negative. So this YouTube channel was brought to my attention by a chatter vertical square when I was desperately looking for content. So we were given Why People Like Anime Girls by Pax Tube. You know, on its face, this doesn't seem like a very political video. I've never seen it, so I don't actually know if it is. However, if we dig a little deeper into the Pax Tube, we've got the dark side of VTubers, and you can go any way with that. There's some ways you can go about that isn't weird, right? But then we dig a little further, we see Attack on Titan's racial themes explored. Now, like I say, who knows which direction we go? Some people were saying that Attack on Titan was fascist propaganda. Other people were saying it was, no, actually anti-fascist propaganda. But then we keep going. So we've got abortion rebuttal, debunking pro-choice propaganda from ASAP Science. We've got the 2020...
Okay, can you get to the meat of it? Because I see in your subscription line, kurz gesagt, in a nutshell, that channel is pseudoscience. You're an idiot for being subscribed to them. Like the
literally all
others.
he's doing is just smearing the person he doesn't like because the person says things he doesn't like.
I like that this is like an edited
a
video, yet like he has this as like a gotcha moment.
This is like
This
Jake's
is all the
nephew.
crap filler that you
Is
have to cut off.
Is this the Wolf style?
Yeah, pretty much.
No. Bosch has his camera on the right.
Okay.
All right, here is the sex defender. Thanks for the one. I'm calling it now. The person making this video definitely molested somebody. I'm getting the same vibes I got from our anti-works moderator even before the person's behavior was made public. Well, I don't know. I got this sort of razor fist gone retarded vibe from this guy. So
No,
Yeah, I'm not.
no.
That is too gracious
kind of
from
vibe.
this man.
Yeah, it's much more
Uh,
the R. Did you ever see the anti-work interview, Smud?
the anti-work interview? What's that?
Yeah, the
Hell,
Reddit.
fuck
It was
you.
the
We'll link it to you.
a moderator from Reddit, from the anti-work
Subreddit.
subreddit, went on Tucker Carlson and did an interview.
Why?
Not Tucker Carlson. It was like some Fox.
No, it was a
guy, yeah.
No,
another
it was
Fox show.
not Tucker. It was Jesse Waters.
And he's 31, and he looks like he's stuck at 17. That he like his puberty never
He
finished.
doesn't work.
The dude.
He's
the dude
No,
just-
he's a
no,
dog
he only
walker.
he works like 20
He's-
hours a week, and he wants to work less. And all he does is walk dogs. But
And
he
he's
wants
the
to be a
proof.
teacher, and he wants to teach psychology
Whoa.
and
No,
other things
philosophy.
like that.
This guy
Philosophy,
doesn't even
I'm sorry.
understand himself. And being a teacher is a tough job. It's a really tough job. You can't
The
do
best
this
part
with
is
a
just-
class. The thing is, this
Jesse,
guy.
the
Okay, go on.
host that's interviewing him, he has that same style where he'll just sit and let them talk and just cock his head, like how Tucker will do, where he'll just like cock his head to the side and just smile and just let them talk.
Yeah, just give him
Because
more.
he knows-
Give him more rope to hang himself with.
Yes, he knows. He understands. Just watch. Just sit and watch and just let him talk because this is hilarious.
Yeah, what I meant to say is,
He wanted
this
to
guy
laugh.
seriously looks like he's 30, is 31, looks like he's 17, has not finished growing into an adult body, and it looks like the proof that we live in the mouse utopia experiment. It scares me.
And it turned into such a crap show. The subreddit shut down. They desperately were trying to keep anyone from like seeing all the insane crap they were saying.
Yeah.
Because it just turned into the typical socialist, like, capitalism is bad and
Yeah. If you're not
we shouldn't.
if you're not going to Wall Street Bets, don't even bother going on Reddit. It's a waste of time.
The only Reddit I go to is Final Fantasy 14 Reddit, just to see memes and whatnot.
Anyway, this person here.
I don't go there.
If
at
you
all.
get so many views and whatever support on the internet, you can afford some speech therapy, for fuck's sake. Like, trans women are not that cocky, that confident when they have this kind of voice. This is a faker.
All right. Let's
No, Whisp. This is a fanboy. This is a new breed.
This is a fetishist.
I don't know if you call everything a
But
fetish.
that's not a word for retarded, but yes.
Okay, all right. I just don't think you can paint men, let alone conservative men, with this broad brush about why they watch anime.
No, I mean, the guy in a dress here that makes the video.
Well, that's a dress. Wow, jeez.
Yeah, he's supposed to look like a girl.
Okay, well, whatever.
Didn't you notice?
I just went with the razor fist, like he likes makeup and leather, and like that's good enough.
But listen, Razor Fist is a metalhead. He can do it.
Yeah, but metalheads like makeup and leather, and it's fishnet and all this stuff.
See, Smut didn't even recognize this person as trying to pass.
No, I accept everything.
That's a metalhead.
I find this adorable.
All right, anyway, let's go.
American race riots explained. And if you're going to call them race riots, you kind of just gave the game away. Like, we already know what side of the fence you're falling on here. We've also got how pornography destroys your mind, which is interesting as well. So I thought, given all of this context, after being given this video, we would watch the most important one that I can see, why people like anime girls, because I'm intensely curious. I happen to find some anime aesthetic interesting. I like how it looks. You've got JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, which is the art style, which is pretty cool. People seem to appreciate.
So
there's
you're
some
gay.
Feminine men. There's some masculine men.
You're gay.
There's some feminine men.
Don't tell Bears, okay?
He said this guy just talked about that he finds some anime aesthetic interesting, and then shows us the gay style of JoJo.
Oh.
Yeah, he's gay.
All of
this
JoJo is gay.
Okay.
He's gay. He's gay.
All right. Fair enough.
Masculine men. It's a good take. We got
no, he's just showing the most stylized
cool
anime
and unique aesthetic. Mob isn't an anime
That's a Saitama with hair.
But I bring it up to say that anime.
Mob is not an anime girl. No, neither is JoJo. Thank you. What are you talking about?
I think he tried to talk about aesthetic in general.
I guess
it's called flamboyant, but well, whatever.
Oh look, there's Mob Psycho 100 versus One Punch Man. Someone noticed that it's Saitama with hair.
Yeah. Anyway.
Oh dear.
It's
Saitama's
son.
Of different art styles, but there's a lot of variety out there, and I, as an artist, really appreciate the art. Let's get into the video. Why people like anime girls by this assumed right-winger. I'm sure we'll have exceptionally good takes here.
This is an anime girl.
Are you sure about that? How do we know it's not a boy? Already bad vibes. I'd say anime person.
Okay, this is
Kill yourself.
What? What?
You fucking retard. See,
wow,
and this is why I have no. This is why I have no trouble calling these people out, having presumptions against these kinds of people, because they always have presumptions against everyone.
This is a Trudeauism. Like what he just did was so. That was so dumb. I can't believe. Like, does he even
Instead of mankind, it's people kind.
Yeah, no, this is like, come on, dude, ma'am, whatever you are. That's
look. If he calls flat-chested girl, oh, I'm not sure if it's a woman. I will not call you a woman. Fuck off.
That anime girl looks more feminine than you, sir or ma'am.
Gender non-specific. If we really wanted to be progressive, that's how you know they're a Nazi, right?
What? Just slow down. How did we get here?
Should I just lean back and get hooked?
The first 2 seconds of his video, he disagrees with because he called the anime girl an anime girl. And now he knows this person's a Nazi.
And you think I'm going over the top? Ha!
Well, you get angry. This is jumping to.
Yes, this is what makes me angry.
This is nuts.
Yes.
This person needs to go back to school and just read books. I don't care. Just pick any book in the library.
Honestly, this reminds me of the
school. Public school is what produced this.
I guess some of the books in the library might be bad, yeah, but just go to a library in your municipality.
No. Do your own research. Read Aristotle and Marcus
Are you
Aurelius.
kidding? This guy can't even penetrate the first. He can't even turn the page of Aristotle. He's like, what are words? How do thinking? What do?
How do thinking?
Yeah, he wouldn't be able to get through the first the intro, like the copyright. They would like, what is copyright? I can't understand. What is a publisher? No way. They won't even be able to penetrate Aristotle the page, let alone the cover. No. This is insane.
But nobody but weirdos like us read those pages where it says which edition of the book it is and when it was first released.
The original Greek is not going to help anyone. So even the Greeks are like, I can't read this. This is too complicated. Anyway, here's Buck Breaker. Alrighty. The effing organizers of the riots in 2020 admitted they were about race and about racism. Is he saying black people are wrong? Stupid. Sounds very racist. He looks like Destiny if he was anorexic with a Cher wig. Alas. Oh, sorry. Also, is that a soul patch I see? Oh.
Destiny at least makes sense. He have principles.
You can actually have a reasonable conversation with Destiny.
Yeah, I've heard some of his insane videos. He was not being crazy. It was other people he was talking to. So he's
also
you
he's
should
starting,
see his.
He has this vestige of reason in the back of his mind that makes him notice. Wait, the people on my political side are absolutely crazy. Yeah. What am I doing here?
Oh, sorry.
But he still wants it to be the good side, which I completely understand.
Here's White Knight Leo. Thanks for the 2. Simple answer, big chest and a nice attitude. Isn't that what we all really want? Just a nice big attitude with a chest.
Yeah, maybe some cooking skills.
Ooh, now you're talking. Anyway, apparently the video that this person's watching, he thinks is the YouTuber is a Nazi.
It's a Nazi.
Okay.
Because he likes sane girls.
No, because he showed a picture of an anime girl and called her an anime girl. I just can't get a dude. You're already far beyond help, beyond my knowledge of healing you.
Do you not understand
this is
why?
Be a very short video.
You often call me overreacting, jumping to conclusions. I've seen this kind of stuff for years. So
I was molded by it.
Maybe that gives a hint of why I've seen this pattern so hard as this, and you are so baffled by it. This is why I seem to jump to conclusions so fast.
It's these are people you would just walk away from if you heard them in public or you were in a lecture hall or whatever tutorial, and you're just like, okay, don't need to be here anymore. I'm gonna leave.
I try to complain that can I please have a proper professor who can talk about the topic?
Yeah. I don't know. I've had
He's not a creationist in biology.
Yeah, I've had great tutorial leaders, and they were actually sometimes better than the professor, so I was lucky in a lot of cases. Mm-hmm. That's where you get all your points if you're scoring on tests and exams, and it's all tutorial. But anyway. Okay.
Off the bat, I'm just kidding. I don't know if they're a Nazi, but I mean, we're treading close given the videos that they've made. Anyway,
average observer, this may look like just.
It's also already a socialist.
But what if I told you that characters like this have been reaching international popularity?
No way.
Whether you're from Japan or not, the odds are that you yourself have seen someone online using an anime girl as an avatar.
That's crazy.
In this video on PAX 2,
that's true.
By the way, I don't know what we're about to get into here, but I will say that we do need a complete and total shutdown on anime avatars on social media until we can figure out what's going on.
Why?
There's a lot of sus shit going on.
Okay, no, instant counter. What we need to shut down is all this rainbow flag shit, gay flag, other gay flag shits, all the weird flags you people came up with.
Wait a second.
That are about actual fetishes. That needs to be shut down, and we need to figure out what's going on there.
This guy. Wait, just stop. This guy wants to stop other people from choosing their own avatars online, just in general, not social media. Just you can't do anime girls.
He's being hyperbolic.
I hope so.
He's making jokes, but deep down, he'd like to shut down all of these people because he thinks they're the vermin of society.
I have nothing wrong.
Because he calls this guy already a Nazi, a National Socialist.
Well,
conservatives tend to be opposed to socialism, but then these people think that National Socialism isn't real socialism, like all the other socialisms that were shit and failed, and therefore it needs to be right wing. I fucking hate.
Anyway, I'm gonna try and because he was laughing before about calling the guy a Nazi, something. All right, that was a joke. Now he's like, oh no, we gotta stop this epidemic
of hyperbolic jokes
of avatars.
There will be a lot of this. There will be a lot more of this.
Oh god. Usually I can't understand satire on Twitter because it's just words. Now this guy, I can't understand what he's trying to say in his voice.
Hidden behind the veil of an anime avatar, and frankly, I've had enough. So we might agree on that, but...
Find out why these characters are so well liked. Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about anime. Specifically, the anime and manga industry produced by Japan. This art industry has become very popular around the world, especially on the internet. Unlike Western animation, which typically gears itself toward children, the anime industry targets a wide variety of age demographics. Thus, you'll find fans who are adults and teenagers alike.
Which is based, by the way, because Western animation is essentially kind of a lost opportunity a lot of the time, in that there's a lot of different things you can do in animation. It's quite literally the medium of moving pictures.
I am astonished of how many cuts this guy makes. Are you noticing this? There's tons of small cuts that put these sentences together.
Yeah. Well, he wants to talk about every sentence this guy says. That's fine. I don't care.
This seems to be a live stream at the same time. I'm confused.
It is a live stream. Like,
basically,
stream. It's a stream that he had on Twitch.
But it's a live stream.
Like, he edited it together for YouTube.
Okay.
So apparently Western animation is
a
a lost opportunity for something. I don't know what, though.
Well, to make adult animation that is not porn.
What? No.
But okay, like Smart, like most of the Western animation, like you have to agree that like most of them are aimed at children. Like
yeah, that's true.
Japan, on the other hand, like seemingly like the ones that like get to the West are
although his mining France is pretty
towards
good.
Like a way. Okay, that's like Adult Swim. Adult Swim has been always like a niche animation section for adults and like young adults as well. But like most of Western animation and cartoons is like, even the West has like this stereotype that if you see a cartoon that's animated, that it's probably intended for children.
Okay, but that's not a lost opportunity. That's just people like it. They'll make it for whoever wants to pay for it.
In regards to an art medium, it is a neglected art medium by not doing anything astonishing for adults.
I understand that, but this is like saying the culture of rice cooking in North America is a lost opportunity compared to the culture of rice cooking in China or Cantonese.
His wording is absolutely atrocious.
No, I don't think that comparison works.
It's okay. I mean, it's what's popular for these people, what they want to buy. And for whatever reason...
I think the right word was it's least explored. It's not explored enough.
All right. Anyway, minor point.
Can be the most creative in. There are literally no limits to what you can do so long as you can deliver what you're trying to do through a drawing. If you have live action films, you can use CG, you can use, practical effects, you can use post-production effects, green screens, all this kind of thing. A lot of the time, unless you have a massive budget, you're not going to be able to produce stuff that isn't like kind of uncanny or easily seen as being not actually part of the world. There's a lot of really weird CG that just doesn't really hit the mark in the way that you would want it to in a lot of live action. But animation doesn't have that kind of limitation, because as long as you can draw it, the world is your oyster. You've got no limits at all. And because of that, the fact that we got Family Guy, American Dad, Big Mouth, Bob's Burgers, there are decent adult...
That stuff is marketed towards children, if we talk about Big Mouth, but it is fetish crap. It is actual fetish crap.
Well, the other ones were satire.
The other ones, it's satire.
Network, and
I don't even know what age groups those are really working for. They're aimed at certain age groups. They are watched by others, and it's just this. What the fuck is this even?
Yeah,
the Dad.
It's kind of weird. I agree.
I don't mind.
American Dad is at least a solid comedy, but this other shit is just well.
Yeah. All right. Well, the founding father farters. Thank you for the one. You could project the entire director's cut of Lord of the Rings on the billboard this guy calls a forehead. He has a BB-8 head? An 888 head, sorry. Oh my god, if this man isn't pure distilled bad faith, I don't know what is. Well, we're getting there. I don't know where he's going, but we're getting there.
Yeah, look, with me around the bar isn't set very high.
Okay.
But these people limbo beneath it.
Okay, anyway.
Adult-themed cartoons and Western animations, The Simpsons, out there, but there's a lot of cookie cutter stuff. I think the reason for that is because a lot
Simpsons
of
is a
Western
whole family
animation
cartoon.
simply is just profit-driven money grab kind of operation. But for Japan, it seems like there's just a broader culture of respecting drawing, painting, animation as
It is still money grabbing.
Yeah.
It's still a
The
salaries
business.
is money grabbing.
The salaries are mind-bogglingly low.
Yeah.
But it's still a business. Everything in media is a business. No one makes media for free.
Mm-hmm.
And
And if you do, what the hell you are doing?
I don't. Anything in Hollywood is so risky that there's so many things no one wants to do because everyone wants to have a 1.2 times return or whatever the heck their ratio is between investment and return. You can't just start doing avant-garde art and think, okay, this is going to be the next Avatar.
Yeah, and I from back in the day, I know a couple people who studied art and or design, and most of them left those jobs as or professions as their main money-making
Yeah,
thing.
I know.
Because they went into it because they loved doing it.
Yeah.
They were interested in it.
But
once you work in that field, your creativity takes a dive. And you after working 8, 10, 12 or more hours a day on your project that you're being paid for, or that you have a contract for by the city to make some children's book about something, which often happens. And it's maybe your one project in this year, or maybe it's one, maybe you get, if you're really lucky, you get 3 projects a year. Wow. But you're working so much on this stuff that you do not have any creative juice left for the stuff you actually want to make for yourself. And that is why a lot of artists and designers eventually drop out of these jobs, do something completely different, something you would call normal, and then in their free time, do their art again.
Well, I've met some people that I was lucky they were in design, they went into animation, and they stuck in animation. There's a lot of animation studios in Ontario, especially Toronto, and they do their own personal stuff. They do work for, like, they do Flash animation at the time when it was popular. They transitioned to other tools, but they're still in it. So there's a demand for it. We just don't see it because it's very specific for those channels of media.
And technically, most Western, so United States cartoons, they just look like Flash animation, and that's
because they all use a style of animation right now called puppeteering, where they pre-make assets and then they are basic. It's like it's a combination between.
It just looks.
It's just dragging the same assets. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird. It's like 2.5 animation because it's not 3D and it's not 2D, because they'll basically rig it to a skeleton. It's like the old Stickman Flash animations where it's just a cleaner version of that.
Yeah, what I like to compare it to is that's basically the modern version of what Hanna-Barbera did. Constantly reuse the same assets.
Well, it is.
Yes, but Hanna-Barbera, as much as we can say, oh, that looks cheap now. Hanna-Barbera did it better. Like,
I agree.
They at least try to hide the fact they were reusing assets.
Well, yeah, and there was the occasional scene that they actually drew and animated properly.
Well, the way these
that was there.
Studios work is they start doing advertising content for TV and trailers, and they still do, but it's a lot of children's programming that are very specific to a region or a school system or some marketing, other marketing for business related to children as well. So it is a lot of stuff for kids. And I don't think that's a horrible thing because kids love animation.
I don't fault them because it is a very rich market to reach.
Yeah, it's great because you'll have kids programs that have live action actors teaching ABCs, and then another 2 minutes of some cartoon, and then it'll jump back, and there'll be a sing-along. So it's a lot of mixed media that jumps into video games sometimes, depending on what they're doing. So it's exciting, it's fun, but depending on the studio, how they work you to the bone, whether or not you enjoy the work, you have to be passionate. That's the whole thing. These people are still in their jobs, and they jump around getting whatever contract they can. So we have animation in North America. You just have to be knowledgeable about it, who you're working with, what studios you're on, who's hiring to do what projects, and how ambitious you want to be in that. Because some people just love doing animation. They just love drawing. They love motion.
Yeah, the problem
tuning.
is the loud minority that are trying to kill the animation industry even more so than it already has been killed, because they're trying to force because they all live in California.
I guess
they're
like all these
forcing
people-
their fetishes into it,
yeah,
and
but-
that's what's
No,
killing
no,
it
no,
all.
no, 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 no. Wisp, it's not that. They're trying to force extremely high wages into their paychecks at the cost of killing the studios, because they don't understand that you can't. The studios have to make money, or else none of them get jobs.
Whereas they are
But
gonna
lots of those studios are outsourcing to Korea anyway.
Yes, because the American
the animators
are demanding extraordinarily high amounts of money to do the work. Which, if they were able to be paid that, awesome. But they can't, because the studios can't make enough money. Game studios are starting to have this issue too, where these idiots are trying to demand studios become unionized.
Oh god, yeah, that's the death of
And
the
they-
industry.
Yeah,
Yes,
I was
because
going
yes,
to bet that.
I'm like, yes, these idiots don't understand that if they do that, they are going to kill the American game industry, which is it once was Japan. Now it's, centered in the US. It's going to move to China and back to Japan and the other Asian countries, because they don't require those over there.
Yeah, and in China, it's going to be dead anyway, because China only produces shit.
Yes.
It's very rare that a good product comes from there. And wow, Siege in the chat said, precisely. Burnout is a thing. I got out of comics and worked a decade of retail. That's how bad it was. Yeah, when you rather work your decade in retail than continue under that pressure, that says a lot.
Like, the amount of artists I've seen who just up and disappear for no reason, just online. They just disappear. I've lost count over the years.
Yeah, if you're lucky, they had just moments of, okay, screw this, I can't do this anymore. Walk out the door and into the forest, and then sit there for a week. And then do something else for the next decade.
All right.
Yeah, in total agreement with the wages. Like, they want to universally increase the wage of animators. Well, they don't realize themselves that they should improve their skills at negotiating the salaries, because they are not dependent on it.
Yes, these are the people though who were never taught. They don't know how to be proactive when it comes to finding a job. Yeah, like I worked at the local Six Flags, and they're like, you need to wear a mask. I'm like, okay, pay me what you were paying me for to wear a mask and costume for Halloween. And they're like, no. I'm like, then I'm not wearing the mask. And they wouldn't fire me because I was the only one of 3 over 18-year-olds working in the area I was working in. So I'm like, I'm working outside. You're not going to make me wear a mask. Like, no.
Yeah,
you need to have no
understand.
balls to set the demands that that you as the employee have
your
a
own
lot
value
more.
as the worker.
Yeah.
That is same goes for my workplace. Like, we have 700 employees, and they were threatening me that I will be fired if I don't take the next vaccine shot. And I said no. What are you gonna do? You're gonna fire the lead dev. Okay, who's gonna take over the work? Ever since that, they're just okay, you can stay.
Yeah, you scared them. You
Yes,
understood.
nobody else. The first time that they said it's all mandatory, everyone has to take it. The first thing that my colleagues were saying well, I'm gonna get an appointment right now. And I said hey, are you here to work for yourself, or you work for someone else? Seriously, just get some negotiating skills. If you do not improve that, you will never stand out from the workforce, and no one will want you. You're just gonna be a conveyor belt worker, pretty much.
Jacob, it was the Six Flags over in Georgia.
Okay, let's keep on going. We're 5 minutes in.
as a skill to be respected and heralded. There's more of a culture of people putting more of their time and labor into developing a higher fidelity art style with more opportunity to deliver incredibly moving, interesting, engaging.
Also, this is like a very short question, Whisp, but like, have you noticed that the guy is like blinking very weirdly? Is it because like his eyes are irritated by all the makeup, or is it something else? Because it's starting to bother me.
I think it might be editing. Like, I think he might have done like retakes of himself, so it's just
no. Look at how he blinks. Like, he blinks a lot, and like how he blinks is like he's forcing his eyes, the eyelids.
So, it's either the eyeliner got in his eye, and he doesn't want to rub it out without getting up a mirror. That can happen, yes. But then there would probably also be some more smear. Although I'm not sure whether this is just bad makeup there on the lower lid, or whether it's smearing around.
It's very smeared.
Yeah. I also have seen people who cannot blink in any other way but moving their entire face. Like, it's not just the eyelids moving, but it's the entire eye portion with the cheeks. Like, the whole face is squeezing shut around the eyes. And there are people who are like that. It's rare, but I've seen it. We had one of those guys in class in my school. It was always irritating me. Like, he was a completely normal, fine dude. He was just blinking in this weird fashion. I had no idea what was going on. Could be that. Could be the makeup. No idea. But yeah, it's irritating.
Yeah, it could be a normal thing for him.
At least it's not blinking one eye after the other with a delay.
Yeah, at least that.
It must be the latency.
If you want to always have Toy Story ruined, if you notice, all the toys blink with one eye first, then the other.
Well, I'd rather see that than see something that Ethan Klein does every 5 seconds. So,
what does Ethan Klein see?
It's like he's forcing his lips to his eyelids to come together and open. It's just the weirdest looking thing.
Like he has to manually remember to blink.
Like he's physically like gotta blink like.
Just in his head, he's like, "Why do my eyes hurt? All right, blink."
Oh, he's one of those prototype robot aliens.
It's like he's doing flexing with his eyelids.
Push the button manually in the cockpit in the brain.
Got to use your full facial structure to blink. Yeah. Anyway.
Visual experiences that just doesn't exist in the West. Now, I hope that the West gets there, and there is a good amount of Western animation that does try to meet the mark, but we just started too late. It seems like we haven't caught up to respecting the medium. Like,
no. We respected the medium for years. Then CalArts became a massive thing, and we only have
the audience always respected it.
Yes, like Disney. As much as you can say about Disney now, Walt Disney himself respected animation.
Yes.
There's a reason Disney was a leader in the animation sphere for decades. Until
didn't even want to work together with the Japanese at some point? Later, as before he died, of course, but
no, I think all his stuff was
I thought he wanted to work together with Tezuka on some project.
Yeah, I don't think he wanted.
Yes.
I think he might have. I think Disney himself may have wanted to, but as a studio, no. It was always.
Well, it was his company when he was still alive.
Well, yes, but I mean, yes and no.
If he said do it, then it would be done.
No, actually, it really wasn't. It was much more. His brother was in charge of running it. Walt was much more the idea. Yes, Walt was much more the idea. Walt was could not run a business at all. It was all his brother. There's a reason. Once the Walt,
but that then still is giving the idea of, hey, this is a good idea, let's do it.
Yes. I think Roy would say, can we do it?
Yeah, it was Walt goes, I want to do this, and Rob goes, we can only do this. It was Walt.
But I see. Look, this is where I don't see the problem of, oh no, we can't work together with Japan. I don't see where that would be the problem.
Yeah, I think
from what you're giving me, I don't see the problem.
I think it was probably Walt wanted to do it, but they weren't able to do it. They just monetarily wise, and also because the war had just finished, so I don't think they were able to do it at that point in time. So like it was still follow up
That's
the war.
the perfect time. That is the perfect time to do it, because that's when you're trying to build friendship.
True, but
That's
also
what we did in Germany.
Honestly, I think Walt wanted to do it, but he wasn't able to do it.
Yeah, like you.
From all I know is that it was too late in his life and it couldn't come to pass because, well, boing.
Passed away, yeah. But I mean, if you weren't aware, Epcot was supposed to be this whole massively planned city that was both above and below ground. Like he wanted to build a whole planned city.
Yeah, it's a completely different project.
No, I'm
all
saying
about
like,
that is you can't compare that to a corporation with Japanese animators.
No, my
you
point
can't compare some insane mega city project on the level that Nazis dreamed of, just in a more positive fashion, with, hey, I want to work together with this top animator from Japan, who says I inspired him.
No, it's my point being is that
it's you can't compare these things.
Walt had a lot of, I think, ideas that he wanted to do that he just was not able to do. Is my point being with that?
I think I think he wanted to do, but he never tried. He never tried to make it real. It was on his plan, but he never was able to do it.
Yes, like Walt was very much a big ideas person, and you need people like that, and then you also need someone to say, okay, no, you can only do this, which was his brother. So yeah, it is a tragic story when you see how the Walt Disney family was forced out of Disney. Like, there's no family member that work at Disney, as far as I'm aware, anymore.
Yeah, no Disney.
And they're still, you know, living family members.
Here's just a line on TV tropes in the trivia section. When he, Osamu Tezuka, met Walt Disney while promoting Astro Boy, they talked about making a movie together. It never got past that, and Disney's death sealed its fate. That's it. But the thought of such a collaboration, blah-de-blah-de-blah. So it just from the interest in making money, this would have been the most perfect decision you could ever make.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said,
and he wasn't able to.
He had a.
But this is not this is not the quest. This is not the question of, oh, I have this. I want to build a mega city. It's not comparable.
It also depends on what time period of Disney that was at, because there was also points where Disney was, you know, having massive money problems. So if it was at the point where they were having massive money problems, maybe it was just too expensive.
Alrighty.
That also depends on that point, like when the time zone or time period. I mean,
let's continue.
Like Japan has, or other places that produce similar levels of quality in their animation do, and that's a shame, but that's just how it is.
In recent years, Western companies have even attempted live-action adaptations of anime, with not much success.
Yeah, imagine my shock, and the reason why there's not much success is because of everything I just talked about. Because animation, the only limit is your imagination and the amount of labor and time you're willing to put into producing the art.
Okay.
It's not related.
No,
that's not related to a guy.
The Netflix.
He's talking about adaptations.
Yeah, the Netflix adaptations. We all know the Death Note one. Good Lord. So many bad things wrong with that. I'm not going to list them all, but the one with
like the Ghost in the Shell movie, as far as I'm aware, was
decent.
It was so
terrible.
I was just cleaning up tabs. What was the adaptation?
He just ranted for a minute about why animation's bad in the West, or whatever. Why isn't it good, or whatever? And you're like, that's. Oh.
And then he just slipped, and then the video moved into like talking about live action adaptations of anime, because here in the West we think that things can't be taken seriously if they're a cartoon for some stupid reason.
Well,
Hollywood thinks that only that's also why Disney's doing all these stupid live action remakes of all their old stuff.
Yeah,
because they've gotten into this mentality there where live action means it's good and mature and adults can watch it, whereas if it's a cartoon, only kids can watch it.
Well, he's still comparing apples and oranges, so I don't even know why he's talking about this.
The adaptations are usually shit. That's why they end up shit. and the only people who watch them at all are SJWs that also watch the bullshit CalArts cartoons. They're barely watched by kids. They're mostly watched by 20-year-old, 30-year-old SJWs.
Not only that, because the guy was saying, "Oh, it is all those live action adaptations are bad because we don't do animations."
Yeah.
Like
what?
what? Wait, what?
I'm sorry. That there's no logic in that.
That doesn't equate. That doesn't add together.
What is that argumentum ad absurdum?
Of the bombastic, over-the-top parts of animation that make anime very
Speed Racer. Which else?
Oh,
was the most. That is the best anime live action, like not reboot or remake, just live action
adaptation. It's
adaptation.
just an adaptation. It's an interpretation of the stuff.
Because it actually portrayed all the insanity that happened in Speed Racer.
Speed Racer.
It did it with all the seriousness that Speed Racer took itself.
It was made with care and love.
So the bombastic.
It was. I'm not into cars, I'm not into racing at all, but I said in that cinema, and I felt like I think I'm entertained.
I mean, considering with Speed Racer, the only car that's important is the Mach 5, and they don't go into how the car works. It's literally just 6. It's literally just a, well, you know what I mean, like the Mach 5 and the Mach 6. Speed Racer's car. That's the only car that's important. And they don't go into how all the mechanics work. All that's important is that it does the thing and that he does a race. That's the only important parts of Speed Racer, and they understood that. And all the insanity that happened with it just made it better.
Good in the way that I like it. Okay, I don't think it is very well scripted.
It didn't try to turn it into like some dark, realistic, gritty like death race.
No, it's just some silly car racing silly tracks.
Well, in that regard, the bombastic nature of anime was translated rather well. I thought he was going to refer to melodrama, but like bombastic elements of anime, I'm thinking like when people scream. I think
Speed Racer proves that it can be done.
Yeah, but that's I guess he's talking about like speed lines and crazy tracks and all the jumps and the action scenes.
Yeah, it's like more like how
he's not talking about Speed Racer.
Well, we are, but I'm just saying that.
Yeah, we are.
But I'm trying to think of like, I guess maybe like Kill la Kill example, like where they get like the weird like, you know, like the body proportions go ridiculous, like trigger stuff where like body proportions go way out of proportion to themselves, and then they snap back.
Is that bombastic though? Is that what he's talking about?
It can be.
Yes.
Okay, you don't mean okay. You mean distortions, not proportions.
I don't know.
They're distorted deliberately for the animation, similar to how Looney Tunes cartoons do it.
In Promare, like there's a lot of bombastic stuff that would be difficult to do in live action just because of what's going on, and like the way the
way you do this is with specific effects, specific uses of the camera, and these cheap live action things, they never bother with any of that.
I think the best example of a adaptation that failed to do the bombastic stuff is Dragon Ball Evolution. Like the fights there were lame as hell.
I'm just trying to wrap my brain
in what are you talking about?
Dragon Ball Evolution. It was pretty much it is a live action adaptation of Dragon Ball. Don't watch it. Don't waste your time.
You could argue the bombastic nature of dialogue. I could say, okay, but that's usually how the term is used. You're referring to a person and they're bombastic, or they're bombast. They are that sort of person. So now I have to wrap my head around the bombastic nature of Japanese anime, and I'm like, okay, is it the dialogue? Is it the action? Is it what it specifically is?
People mean the animation styles with action scenes, with how the camera goes, how the character moves in relation to the camera, and all of that.
Well, when I think of
like it exaggerates the
I know.
the action through all this very special type of movement and perspective.
But I wouldn't
which,
call
to pull that off in live action is much more difficult.
Oh yeah, of
it
course.
can be done, but it's much more difficult, and nobody does it.
This is why we have adaptations. That what you can and cannot do. But when I think
Like,
of well-drawn animation, let's say with One Punch Man, I don't think that's bombastic. I just think that's high action. That's action scenes where he's getting launched into the moon. It's like it's not.
I think.
Well,
I think
fight
we
it can be called bombastic.
I think
It's
we
like
can
in
assume.
look, in Germany we also use the word bombastic for action scenes, because you know explosions and shit, bombs. Exploding.
Yeah.
Literal
that's
bomb.
what it was.
The word bomb is in the
from.
word bombast. Okay,
This is where I'm confused. I would never associate the word bombastic with character dialogue. What the hell?
That's what we do. We say he's a bombast. Someone is a bombast. That's the
Okay,
actual.
then that's local to you.
It's in the word. It's bombast, and that's ick is a version. It is a attaching a phrase.
But I think we can assume that he meant the person in the video meant action and effects. So I think
I'll say
that's
let him finish explaining or attempt to finish explaining so we can
guess.
see what his definition is, because that might help.
All right. Here's Legacy for the $4.99. Thank you, sir. 2D characters tend to have more depth than possibly any live action adaptation, such as Batman, Hulk, etc.
Which is ironic.
Depending on the story.
yeah.
Depends.
Because they're flat.
All right.
Unique and you try to translate it into a more limited format of live action, you're gonna be met with varying levels of quality.
See, to me, it's just if you're using something which is very not intellectual, very imaginative, it can't translate well to something which is not imaginative, like the real world. But you get a lot more frames of animation or resolution from live action if you're doing mundane stuff. So when he says bombastic, I'm thinking, again, big spaceships blowing up and all this busy stuff in the background, which you would do with CGI anyway. And that's where you see the disconnect between what was done in, let's say, Cowboy Bebop, the anime, and the Cowboy Bebop adaptation, let's say, with water effects or lighting effects. And it's like, okay, now I could tell the difference. Something's off. Not, Spike doesn't look right because he's running or whatever. Anyway.
Let's
will
keep going.
almost never meet the same standard of the anime, and as we see here, usually fall devastatingly short, almost disrespectfully so.
But the rise of popularity of anime in
Disrespectfully?
the West is worthy of investigation.
What is the rating disrespectful of
The adaptation.
or is the adaptation disrespectful of the original material?
Generally, it's
That is just reflected in the bad rating.
generally it's the adaptation disrespecting the original material. And with Ghost in the Shell, did it disrespect?
No.
Or was it just that it was just basically the original Ghost
it
in
was
the
just
Shell?
bad.
No,
It was just written badly.
I don't think it was written poorly. It was not.
It was.
Well, people are thinking they wanted a one-to-one, and this is what you were not supposed to.
No, you can't make a one-to-one of Ghost in the Shell.
Well, they tried.
That doesn't even work because you already have different adaptations. And the thing of that is that is the thing. What the movie did was take iconic scene from manga, iconic scene from first movie, iconic scene from Standalone Complex, iconic scene from Standalone Complex 2, and put them all into one thing. Have several of these plot lines of stories that were in these different iterations of Ghost in the Shell. They're basically like Marvel DC reboots, if you will. And then try to needle a red thread through all of that, just so you can show iconic scene 1, iconic scene 2, iconic scene 3, iconic scene 4, until you're at the end of the movie. And that turned it just into shit.
No.
That is how it's badly written.
They had.
I said in the cinema, and for like, this is not a story. This is just a lineup of scenes.
Well, there was a through line.
Yes, there was. That's what I said with the red thread. It's a German expression.
Yes.
Roter Faden. that's there, but it's so thin, and it's like labyrinthing through all of this. It's not well done.
Okay, I remember.
And that means if it's not well done, it's not good. If it's not good, it's bad.
No. They had a lot
hell.
They had a lot of scenes which they adapted, which looked the right camera angle, the right coloring, etc., etc. I remember the fight in the pool with the guy who's running away with the camo. And in the anime, there's a scene where the Major grabs the guy from behind and does like a series of backflips with him on, like she's behind him, so she's doing backflips, and he's like, I don't know, breaking his back at each turn. I don't know how that worked. In the anime, it's like the high kick she does, or the roundhouse kick she does. Like, that's a very iconic scene. I think they pulled some of that off, but they could not do the backflips properly, so they did something else. So that there's stuff they could not do, and that's, to me, is acceptable, because you cannot do a person with another person doing a series of backflips, because Scarlett Johansson or the stunt double is not a robot. They just can't do it. So,
yeah, that's why you bring CGI in.
You could make that argument, saying they could have done more. They could have done all these other crazier things. Like with the tank scene was relatively fine. It could have been better.
If they had the
they let her rip off her arm.
Rigor.
I'm pretty sure they didn't do that.
Wiring system. They could have faked it to an extent, but yeah.
Yeah, so they tried to get those iconic scenes that looked relatively good. They didn't look bad. They did.
And I mean, and Scarlett Johansson looked like Major. Like, I will say, like, if they got the right person,
yes,
like they made an attempt to make the movie look like Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah, like I would have appreciated.
I will say, Ghost, out of any anime they could have tried to make a live action series for, Ghost in the Shell is probably one of the easiest ones, because it's still very grounded, even with the robot thing. Like, you can fake that.
Yeah, there's stuff like, she should have been naked fully while she was running up the walls at the start of the movie. And you're like, okay, I understand why they didn't do it. As a fan, I would have liked, a 1-to-1 as best most as possible. But at the same time, it doesn't bother me that much. It's like, yeah, I don't need to see robot boobs. It doesn't bother me. So there's stuff like that.
No, the problem is rather that Hollywood productions always shove in unnecessary sex scenes anyway.
Okay.
And that's the hypocrisy there.
I was taking this like, okay, if I never had anything Ghost in the Shell, and this is my intro to, this is probably not the best example, but I'm happy it exists because it shows.
It's looking okay. It's written like shit. That is all.
Okay. There is some.
I think Alita Battle Angel was better. That's my
Battle
hot
Angel's
take.
great. Yeah. There's lots of great.
But that's also because Steven Spielberg loves Battle.
James Cameron.
Or James Cameron. Sorry, not Steven Spielberg. Sorry, I get the. Sorry, they're two very big movie
two old guys.
two old, very famous movie producers. Anyway, they both do passion projects out the wazoo. James Cameron absolutely loves Battle Angel Alita, and it shows. Like his.
Yes, he said when the Smurf movie was made that he only did that as a tech demo to see whether the technology was ready, because he wanted to make Battle Angel Alita.
There we go. See, with Battle Angel Alita, the manga, there's bombastic stuff in manga and anime in general where they announce their maneuver or their technique. To me, that's bombastic. That's over the top drivel or silly words that don't have much meaning. They just tell.
Yeah, I mean, but most pretty much all shonen or battle manga and anime.
Battle shonen.
Yeah, they have grandiose scenes that are over the top silly, and they have words to represent what's going on. So it represents a guy who's been training for years and years, and he has this technique called this, and he does the technique and it does the thing. Like, that is, to me, is bombastic.
Yeah, I mean, Yu Yu Hakusho, Dragon Ball, Inuyasha,
with
Gundam.
Yeah, with some of those, it
One
makes
Piece,
some sense.
like they all do it.
Yeah, because they're aliens and they have magical powers, and you're like, all right, you need to do incantations or whatever. But this is just, a knight with a sword. You just, why is he announcing things? It's silly. But I would understand that argument for being specific to an individual movie or an individual anime or manga, not in general, because you could say many things about the animation style or the action scenes being bombastic. So anyway, let's get back.
And it leads us to some telling conclusions.
Some telling conclusions. Let's see.
A key factor that stands out in anime's success is its female characters, who garner fan bases in and of themselves.
Now, this is true. There is also a substantial fan base of women, of men, gay men in specific, if we're about to talk about the sexualization of these characters, but obviously not to the same degree. Femininity, in a general sense, is fetishized, and there's a lot of negative aspects that come along with that. Women have been fighting this fight. Feminists have been...
Feminists are retarded.
Okay.
Pretty much. We can go on.
I like red gummy bears. Okay, let's keep going.
If you don't understand why women are pretty, you don't have all these, they have the soft skin, the big eyes, the nice smile. We're not even talking about the more prominent sexual attributes. It's just that part. Women's age, due to genetics and hormones, longer than men's hair. The maximum, if you grow it out as a man, and if you grow it out as a woman, the woman's hair will be longer. Even though the woman is shorter.
Whisp.
Yeah, there's evolution behind all of this shit.
All right.
It's not fetishizing women.
Okay, yeah.
If anyone did that, it's evolution.
Well, fandom does
Feminists are retarded.
Yeah, fandoms do have individual fans of characters in those stories. So like, I'm on team Edward or whatever, and they like that character the most. He's the most attractive to them, whatever. That's fine. That's totally cool. You like a certain element of a story. Great. Good for you. Fantastic. Nothing wrong with that.
Since the dawn of time, since they're the primary demographic to exhibit femininity, now that men, non-binary people are more accepted in society,
there are no non-binary
people. A lot of
people.
negatives that come with that. For being more feminine, we're still subject to that fetishization. So really...
Oh! So you are non-binary. So you're definitely not a trans woman.
Was that
You're just an attention whore with a cross-dressing fetish. Okay, thank you.
All right.
If we want to solve a lot of these issues, we work to defetishize femininity in a general sense.
What does that mean, defetishize femininity?
Oh, that's why you put on makeup and wear these clothes? Because you want to defetishize? That's why you're wearing a choker? Are you retarded?
I don't know what he means.
I am.
Yes. Anyway. sun is hot and shiny and red in the sky. Birds are chirping. Sea is blue.
We
and
must
green.
decolonize anime from these bastards.
Okay.
This is the equivalent of saying we need to decolonize the West or whatever, or we need to, like, it just means nothing. Absolutely nothing at all. They just want to sound smart.
Condoms for everyone.
Yes.
Look, this video here is advertised on this person's Patreon as the first one and talks about fighting against fetishization. This is a selfie, by the way.
Oh, you gave me the... Oh my God.
Yeah. So this
cross-dressing is not a...
this
I'm gonna bet you this
little
idiot
faggot has no say in fighting against fetishization because he's fetishizing himself in a feminine manner.
That was just one scene.
This is one of those people that thinks that because Cloud cross-dressed because he needed to
It's
go
not
and...
cross-dressing. It's not the fucking picture on the left. The selfie on the left. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
No,
we're
but I'm
already
saying
over
'cause
that,
he's got-
Wisp. Okay.
Because he's got
Okay.
Cloud.
We can go with the
Cloud
video.
is cross-dressing.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway.
Like Cloud, the character from Final Fantasy VII, because there's the
Can
on
you
that screenshot of yours. It's Cloud cross-dressing.
Buddy,
He
are
has
you
to go into
autistic
a woman-only area to what he thinks is to
Nobody
save
sees
Tifa.
this right now on the stream.
I know no one does. I'm saying.
Yeah, he's
I
giving
was
an
describing it.
example.
I could bring it up. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, no, I'm saying I bet you he's one of those people that thinks that, just judging by this image you gave us, Wisp.
So substitute
If
teaching for the professor's something.
Yeah, it's this image right here. Like, I bet you he thinks that, like, and the one on the right is a Genshin character. It's just a effeminate, like a pretty like.
It's just Venti's a guy.
With Genshin, all the dudes in that are overly pretty because that's just it's a Chinese
It's
company.
what girls are into.
Yeah, it's a gotcha game, so they're gonna make everyone pretty. They want you to buy the game or buy the characters. Because the only thing that matter in gacha.
They also want gacha characters for the girls.
Yes.
And that's all. But that was not why I brought the picture up.
All right. Anyway. Let us continue. Oh, sorry, we got a super chat. From Noble Commando, am I fetishizing femininity if I like tomboys?
That is probably a mind-breaking question for these kinds of people.
Yeah, they'll be like, I don't know. We have to figure that and analyze that and put it through our computer. So I think you're okay.
Segmentation fault.
Yeah. How does this work? How do tomboys work into our worldview? They look pretty. Okay, good enough.
Because it helps literally everybody. Anybody can be feminine. It is not relegated to women. So if we
not anybody can be feminine.
We help everybody.
There are some women who have problems with that.
We'll see.
The term waifu, a variation of the word wife, is used commonly in anime circles to refer to one's favorite female character.
I mean, it's not even a variation of the word wife. It's literally just wife using English.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's literally that's where it came from. Is just using the word wife with a Japanese accent, because when they would say wife in English with their accent, it just comes out as waifu. That's just because that's how they would enunciate it. So,
yeah, nice ice cream.
Yes, exactly. Or coffee. It's a coffee. Or computer. Like that's literally how the word is enunciated.
Yep.
It's just
like
it's
the Western fan base.
What is a lean
taking a word and embracing a word in.
It's just a loan word. That's all.
Yeah.
It's a loan word.
Yeah.
All languages have these. They take words from other languages, then they gain slightly specially connotated meanings, and that's all. That's all waifu is.
All right. We know. We get it. Okay.
But this whole everybody can be feminine. No. Just because you put on some makeup and some weird clothes, and if those are natural lips, I'd be very surprised, and you're very lucky, but I don't think so.
I think the blinking really throws me off. It's like, what is this person? What is wrong with
what throws me off is that this fetishist goes on about first complains about fetishization of femininity, fetishizes femininity himself, and doesn't bother to do any voice training. Bullshit.
All right.
This is odd. I will only ever use the term waifu ironically. I don't know that it's necessarily like super bad to like have such a connection.
What?
I would say 99% of people use the term waifu ironically.
Why can't we use it normally? Like, what's wrong with just saying waifu or husbando or the thing you like?
Yeah, I also don't know anyone who uses husbando unironically. The only people I would imagine that to be would be people with borderline personality disorder, but that's another.
Yeah, like I go to anime cons, and the only people who use it are like people doing it like as a joke, or if it's like on some sort of like dumb jokey merch. Like it's never used in conversation.
No.
Like
yeah.
I have a mental love of a fictional character that I just obsess over. It's like, oh, really? That's nice to know. I'm going to go over here now.
Yeah, the word is always like the people who use that, like literally, are the people everyone kind of has like the.
Yes,
like,
stay away from. You probably also want to marry your horse or your goat.
Go sit in the corner. Like just go sit in the corner you're no longer
Yeah, and there are people who want to marry fictional characters officially. It's just that most countries do not play along that game, aside from a certain North American country.
It's already done.
Use that are the people who. It's the weebs. It's the people who the weebs call fucking weebs when we the weebs are calling you the weeb.
Here's the mechanist in the chat. He's tweaking out, lacking all the coke. See, if it was Ethan Klein, he could afford the coke. This guy, I have no clue. This guy just seems like he's blinking and there's something wrong with his face and it hurts, but he's still making a video because he has to make a video. I don't know. It's weird.
Maybe for some botched up facial operation.
Maybe he's tired. Maybe he's stuck at the screen too long. I don't know. Something's going
Probably
on.
use DMT.
Okay. Anyway.
To a fictional character that you like refer to them in this way, have like figurines and the body pillows and whatnot, but there are certainly ways that can manifest that can be damaging to one's emotional state, to one's mental state, and even have impacts in their lives if you become super obsessive about these kinds of things. But in a general, I don't know how bad.
Did he just cut between but and it?
I don't know.
Like this is literally Hassan. He's editing out his ums, is, and it, his just verbal garbage, like same as Hassan. Like if you want, because he's jumping around the screen. That's not a human. Like.
So guys, obsessions can hurt you in the long run. Okay, just so you know, in general, in life.
Yeah, like his point isn't being made, but his editing is making it worse. Is the problem? Like.
I thought it was just the eyeballs twitching. They're like, well, that's freaky enough. Now he's
no. Like he's moving from like in space as well while he's talking, but he's jumping between angles, and you're not seeing the movement because he's cutting out his ums, is, ands, like his verbal garbage is what he's cutting.
Frame.
Yeah, it's it's the same dumb thing that Hassan does to try to make himself sound smarter, or his editor desperately tries to do.
The fringe cases are the ones you have to worry about.
It's become obvious at this point that anime girls have a special charm that viewers in the West are picking up on.
People like feminine and cute things.
Yeah.
It's been known to happen.
Now the most common...
Oh! So now it's not fetishism.
So wait a second. Didn't the first 5 seconds of this video saying we were doing all these horrible things to women, objectifying them and whatever? But no. Yeah. We just like cute things. You're like, oh. Okay. So
this is like a trademark for the non-binary person. It's like turn off.
He contradicts himself.
So conservative men love anime girls because they're cute. Okay, we can go home now. We're done. What is...
When I like things, it's cute. When you like the same thing for the same reason, it's fetish.
Yeah.
Fuck off. Fuck off.
Because I'm concerned, or maybe I'm not concerned. I don't even know where I lie on the political spectrum because I don't like politics. So maybe I'd have to do one of those tests and then figure out that I'm actually conservative, and then I'd have to watch anime and go,
No, see, Smud, it's really easy. Do you like communism? If yes, you're left wing. If no, you're right wing.
Oh, that's how it works. Okay.
No. You're part of the far right if you don't agree with that.
If I like Justin Trudeau, I'm on the left.
Yeah, I am not sure whether this guy is complaining about, in the literal sense of the title, of conservatives liking anime girls or anyone not a socialist liking anime girls.
I hear this argument. I remember hearing it years and years ago from BreadTubes. Like, oh, if they disagree with me, I could already imagine or assume they're logically minded. They believe in strict financial policy. They like paying their bills on time. They might go to church. They believe in strong family values. Like all these generic ideas about living, cooking food, buying groceries.
Existence.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, you're a conservative. It's like, what? I go grocery shopping.
That sounds like the Gavanako.
Yeah, it's like, what the hell?
It's the case. It's another case of the left thinking they know the right, just as colloquially, like how they think.
Because
they believe they know how humans work when they don't.
Whereas
it shows that they don't know how humans work at all.
Yeah, it's like us on this panel in this call can more accurately depict what he is thinking than he could tell any of us what any of us are thinking.
Yes, man. Like, how dare you not have your mom making?
Because we can see the NPC code in this person's head, because it's not hard to watch that tree go down, like follow that conversation tree.
This is if this is an NPC, it's at least a higher tier NPC.
Okay,
I can see that.
Oh, that's an
Oblivion one. Yes.
All right.
Of why anime girls are popular is that they're cute. True. And that's very true. These characters are professionally designed to be feminine and attractive. True. There are entire animation methods devoted to their styles.
Yeah, I use side
physical traits that are highlighted in anime include flowing hair, large and detailed eyes, and slim or curvaceous bodies.
Not always, though. It is certainly the case that anime will select for this, but that's because society in a general sense selects for these aspects. There are...
Not society, you retard! Men. Or rather, if we want to be super accurate, the biologically male part in the brain, that is the biologically male sex center in the brain, looks for the pattern recognition that is this. If it's not that, then it has a weird programming, a weird pre-wiring. Or you have the female version of that in your head, then you're not into this sexually, but you recognize its beauty because you maybe want to aspire to it. Because you know that the other sex, the male sex, looks for this pattern. Because you want a stable partner, a family, you know? And a stable partner who's there to help raise the kid. And the man wants a stable woman who will be there for the kid as well. And preferably his own. This is not society.
I'm just thinking a healthy way of blinking is not to move your eyebrows.
So far, I will say the video that he is watching is better than his live stream.
Yes, of course. But
he's not a complete retard like Kevin Knackle or Renegade Cut or Jason Unruhe.
Yeah, why are we not covering the video that he's covering?
Thought. I would say he's capable of actual thought.
Oh yes, he's thinking. It's just
sorry, Mark.
It's this bizarre world of filtering all the other information.
Like we're literally watching this like guy's video inside with the Marxist lens to say.
Yeah.
At least we have something worth watching.
What does
he's been taught that it's society that wants big boobs.
What does his name mean? Does anyone know what conure means?
No idea.
Okay. It's so generic. I was like, is that a word? Is it an acronym? Like, what is...
It's probably made up of different words put together or something.
Like manure, but conure. Like, what the...
Cock nourishing repetitive CC. I don't know.
I would have expected that one from Hawk.
Well, you know, all these people sound alike to me, so I'm like, okay, what does his name mean?
They all sound like manure?
Well, that's one way of putting it, yeah.
It's like a different face for a demon, yeah.
All right.
A lot of people out there that will see feminine people that don't meet these characteristics and malign them, disparage them, think of them as less than. There's an entire internalized...
No, you idiot.
What is he talking about?
Don't come with this internalized bullshit. There are millions of men out there who like them big, round, and fat. Who are into the big bellies. There are girls who are into the big bellies, the beer bellies of men. And there's even a reason for that, because that can signify, that man is old enough to make enough money on his own that he can go fat and lazy. That can be a misconception, but especially in the olden days, you know, before industrialization, a man being big and fat, woman being big and fat, means she's rich or he's rich because he can afford to be fat. That's where that genetic pre-wiring of your brain can come from.
It's like why having lots of extra fabric on your clothing meant you're rich, because you could afford having a bunch of extra cloth.
Yeah,
because cloth
was
expensive.
And bloody hell, have I often seen twig-like nerds that make good money in their early 20s already, with absolutely obese girls that are probably gonna die of a heart failure in their 40s. That's a common thing. Some people are into that.
I don't see any problem with that. Natural selection.
I don't either. But he lives in this magical fantasy world where absolutely everyone is only into the super most prettiest girls ever.
And it's all internalizing what it means to be a woman or something. What? No.
If anyone, he has internalized some bullshit. Maybe get your money back from that university that brainwashed you, because that was a scam.
How do you know that?
Is a
How do
type
you know
of
that?
parrot.
What is that? Is that the script?
What?
Anyway.
No, I just mean that this is a standard gender studies bullshit.
Okay. Apparently, conure is a parrot. I didn't know that. Thank you, chat. That's not a good name to have. But okay, fair enough. Keep going.
Misogyny and internalized fetishization.
Are
of
you
femininity
joking?
that feminine people have to deal with because of how much this.
I cannot process that this cross-dressing fetishist complains about internalized fetishization of being female.
Or hating
Or
females.
whatever he said. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? You are, if anyone here is doing that, is guilty of that crime, it's you.
Yeah, all the anime chicks he showed us from this video have looked very adorable, very attractive in a certain way. There's nothing sexualized. Yeah, they're pretty. They're nice to look at. They're aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah.
Yes, but Smud, don't you
and
know
he
if a woman
tries
is
to
pretty,
be
that
that
means
as
you're
well.
sexualizing her.
And he's trying to be that as well. And he is trying sexual poses and way more sexual clothing styles than any of these characters shown here are doing. He is the fetishist.
Well, guys, again, when your eyelids are connected to your eyebrows so strongly, it's not very attractive. It just doesn't look good. You might want to work on...
No, you're not roboting. We can't hear you at all.
Oh, yeah, it's me. I'm roboting?
No,
I was saying, was I roboting at all? Can you
Not
hear
at
me?
all. Not at all.
Oh, okay.
I
Okay,
didn't
no,
hear
because
anything.
on my end, you guys are, so I just wanted to make sure it wasn't a...
Okay.
Just reconnect and it should do it.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're going to keep going. We can go for another few minutes. This is getting nowhere fast, but...
Yeah, let's do another minute.
All right, okay.
Is propagated in our society, and the work of feminism is
How many times is he gonna say society?
So if this is a problem,
Oh god, yeah, fuck your fucking feminism that tries to tell women that being pretty is bad and evil. And you know what the joke is? You are trying to be that kind of pretty in a feminine way that feminism is trying to tell women is bad. What the hell are you doing? Are you trying to get rid of competition?
That's a high mountain to climb. He's got to really up his
Fucking
game.
cocksucker.
Up his game and fix the eyebrows, fix the face, fix a lot of things.
Yeah, that's not a problem right now. This guy is really thinking that women, because feminism, should not try to be pretty, but he tries to be pretty in the feminine way. So when he does it, it's good. But the real girls, they shouldn't.
Yeah, and he's arguing this is the style of artwork which he admits is cute, but men are somehow internalizing it to be misogynistic, and I don't know where that connection came from.
It's just plain insanity. This guy has broken his brain through this gender studies bullshit. Completely. Rationality out the window. This is the same level of stupidity as a Holocaust denier. It's just a different topic in a different manner. It's the same, or a flat earther. It's just everything's upside down.
All right.
for you, then you should probably look into feminism for some maybe constructive ways to help address it.
You should probably look in the mirror.
Accepted as beautiful. Some might argue that beauty is subjective.
It is.
But let's face it.
No, not necessarily. No. There are objective standards to human beauty.
All right, so now we're touching
the video he's watching is just about to get into it.
Yeah, this is what I wanted to address before we started everything, because we have to understand what is aesthetically pleasing, what is sexually arousing, what is sexual in the first place. Like, these are all very subjective ideas, but when we actually address aesthetics, then we can actually identify things which are non-subjective, as opposed to...
We have mathematical formula about what proportionality of things in relation to each other about the human body is attractive to which sex.
It's amazing.
That is objective. It can't get more objective.
Yeah, these were studies that were done, at least that I know, from U of T about 23 years ago. And they did a blind test with all kinds of random people in malls and other places, a very big test. And they found out that female faces and their components, because they would use a computer and mix up all the components of the faces, they were all very generic faces. The female elements were more attractive to both sexes.
Yeah, also the most common thing that people know about is the waist-hip ratio.
Okay. I was talking about just faces.
That's a sad thing. That's a sad thing. When a bigger woman has the same waist-to-hip ratio, so the relative size to each other, as a woman half her weight but same height, has the same waist-to-hip ratio, will of course look smaller in total. The numbers will be smaller in total. But if the ratio from waist to hip is still the same, the big woman will still be seen as attractive. Maybe not your type, but she will still be seen as attractive. It's a similar thing with, well, as long as the boobs stick out further than the belly, it's attractive. When the belly sticks out further than the boobs, pregnancy aside, that's the special case. Pregnancy itself has different proportionalities that look attractive in a different manner from just from simply sexual, because it shows, oh, this woman is fertile, because that's what all of these things are about. Is the woman fertile?
Well,
what all these signifiers are. Big boobs are just trying to make you think this woman is fertile.
One of the reasons why I brought up that specific study, because that was very eye-opening, but because there was another study done this year in regards to the COVID masking mandate, that there was a study, I can't remember from which university, was saying that people were more attractive with their masks or wearing masks, which just does not make any sense.
That was bullshit.
That
was just bullshit to promote people wearing the masks.
It's possible.
That was literally just trying to get. Yeah, it was literally just trying to get people to.
If you put a paper bag over an ugly face, that also makes you more attractive. True.
Yes,
I mean, it does help.
I remember that. I remember that coming out
because it filters out those people from society.
Tons of people made fun of that when were mocking that quote unquote study when it was more just an opinion. Like, because they, you could very easily see that they cherry picked the subjects for that.
Yeah, the idea of the law of averages, or koinophilia, is a concept in psychology that was looked upon, which says that you take all the phenotypes of a certain experience. So say birds, a certain kind of bird, a certain kind of person, a certain kind of whatever, and the attractiveness or the attraction to that thing is based off the average of all of the traits. So there's nothing in the extremes. There's nothing too tall, too short, too long, too small, too wide, too thin. Everything's just middle of the road. And that is what works, and that's when we see of certain facial structures, like we look at Tom Cruise. Believe it or not, he's a very handsome guy facially, and we look at his profile, why that is, and we see these shapes, we see the exact distances between the nose and the eyes and the lips, and this is how women look at men. They say, there's this general average of proportions. So that is one element of understanding attraction, not sexuality, just attraction. We are attracted to certain features because we've seen them all before, over and over again, and our mind makes a gestalt of all these things on an average, which is amazing. It's crazy stuff, how our brain makes patterns out of things. Anyway, what this person is referring to is a little bit different, and to say that all beauty is subjective is kind of missing the experience.
It's simply bullshit.
There are subjective elements, there are objective elements. That you can't disregard one or the other. You have to.
Yeah, but to say all is just one of the two, that's bullshit.
Yeah, it's the same with saying...
if you say beauty is subjective, you are saying beauty is only subjective.
Yeah, it's like saying food is subjective.
Trying to put out.
Like
if someone finds a literal pile of shit attractive, something's wrong with that person.
There is beauty in everything.
And that will not be counted into the people, what people find attractive. Because, no.
In relation to other things, yes.
Your brain is broken.
In relation to a giant field of gore and carnage, I would see a pile of dung a little more pleasing to the eye. But anyway, doesn't matter. Let's keep going.
Yeah, but that is not beauty or attractive.
It is aesthetically pleasing.
Looking less horrible does not mean, oh, I'm attracted to it. It's beautiful.
No.
It's a different thing.
No. You could use that.
Less bad does not mean good.
Okay, fine, whatever. Let's keep going.
Physical traits that people are biologically wired to be attracted to. Those creating anime do not try to
Okay, good. Okay, that's we're getting somewhere.
Where did that come from? Are you is this guy suddenly contradicting himself?
Well, no, he's admitting that there are some biological traits that other genders or other sexes are hardwired to like. And you're like, you're right. We agree.
Yeah, he is contradicting himself.
Because
I don't think he notices.
5 seconds ago, he said like it's all subjective.
Yeah, I know it's kind of strange, but
I'd say
right.
this is already doublethink. He doesn't notice that he holds completely contradictory ideas in his head.
He's not aware that
like he didn't do the full transition, so he still has some brain cells left.
Oh well,
he's not interested in transitioning. He only wants to look like a girl to get a hard on.
He's taking
while complaining that men fetishize pretty girls.
He's taking the aesthetic world, like the Venn diagram, and he's keeping it separate from the empirical diagram of liking things, because you can like aesthetics, you could like the empirical elements and say this is always attractive. We always like looking at eyes. We always like looking at smiles. We find solace in green colors and warm colors and in hues that are balanced, as opposed to extreme contrasts or bright lights or stuff like that. So there are definite elements that are empirical that we all go, oh, that's nice. That makes us feel better. And they could be shapes, they could be objects, they could be colors, they could be whatever. So he's right about that. But if he's right about that, he's wrong about everything being subjective, because that contradicts liking something. It's either
this person's channel. I was just looking at his other videos because I saw a few in the view more in the watch together.
Okay.
And his videos are just ridiculous.
Okay. Like there's a response to this one where it's like, I told the truth about anime girls and incels got mad. Oh, really?
Everybody who disagrees with you is an incel.
Oh, dear.
Cocksucker.
Let's see here. There's he's very upset at Matt Walsh because of Matt Walsh going on Dr. Phil, and also Matt Walsh has the #1 best-selling kids book in the LGBT section.
That's great. That's fantastic.
Oh, you mean
it's literally poking fun at these people. It's
that thing where they had these fetishists on, and we're just talking absolute medical lies about everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's him and then him like reeing at Ben Shapiro, him reeing at Matt Walsh, him reeing at Tucker Carlson.
Yeah, this
him reeing at Steven Crowder. It's just hilarious.
I've done the first couple minutes about it because we just don't find the time together to do this together with Cyrek and Sarah on my channel. If you want some more Wisp brands, you can watch that. We just didn't get through more of this yet because we haven't the date and time because of time zones to do more of it. And what these people do is basically there's fetishists like this douchebag going about, oh, this is non-binary and we are all this and none of this has anything to do with gender dysphoria or transsexuality. They're just lying about the medical truths of everything, starting with this bullshit that sex is assigned at birth by a doctor. No, it is assessed, and it is almost always correct, and that's fine. And it is sex that is assessed, not gender. Big difference. Because also in that interview there on this Dr. Phil thing, these fuckheads first acknowledge a difference between sex being biological and gender being this made-up shit, and then they start only using the word gender while referring also to the biological elements. And that's why I just want to throw these people out a window. And this Dr. Phil isn't even jumping in and correcting them on this pseudo-scientific, if not anti-scientific bullshit. These are the fuckheads. This guy here in the lower left corner is one of these fuckheads that complain about misinformation all the time, being done by other people, when he and his ilk are the people spreading actual misinformation. It's again just another case of projection. They accuse everyone of what they are doing. so that you don't look at them and notice that, oh wait, these people are actually doing the thing that they're accusing others of. Oh man, what a surprise.
All right. Well, we're going to go on for another 15 seconds and go to stream memes because it's funny. I'm having a good time.
But it's not. Now that we've seen the Dunn thing, there's nothing to find here anymore.
Yeah, it's
some of his other videos might be worth looking at. Just like, are debate bros a problem for the left? There's a good one.
Debate bros.
He's shown that. I don't know. He's shown right now that he isn't capable of logical thought and reflection and all of that. You know the juicy logic stuff that adults do.
Yeah, well, it's very.
What could he be saying about anything else?
He made a video.
He has broken his brain.
Where it's just him complaining, like him critiquing and complaining about the "Let's Go Brandon" songs.
Well, I do like.
I listen to every "Let's Go Brandon" song, so you don't have to.
I do like how enthusiastic he is. I just wish
he likes having a pedophile senile puppet as a president. Well, that says a lot, doesn't it?
Okay, well, let's keep going, and then we'll get to stream memes.
It should also be noted that these female designs go hand in hand with clothing that accentuates their feminine features, such as ribbons, bows, or other hair accessories.
And the big reason for this, by the way, is because, like I say before, animation, literally the only limit is your imagination.
No, that's dumb.
You can't do this in live action, okay?
You could put ribbons and stuff in your girl's hair. Dresses.
Like you're right now you're retarded on screen, even though like this is not animated.
Yeah.
There's no limit.
That's a strange take. Oh, you can do amazing stuff with hair. Yeah, there are some hair designs in anime that are over the top, but in general, it's just like putting a clip on your hair is not impossible.
Well, I'm because
hair clips are misogyny.
Yeah, something like that.
Curious where that was going to go, but still, yeah.
All right, stream meme time. See what we got.
God.
Okay, this is 21st. Yep. From Blue Bolt. Hey, how's it going? Why do people like monster girls? What's wrong with regular ones? The monster is on the outside.
Yes.
Pretty much.
I think monster girls are cute.
I need to scroll up where. Oh my god, there's so many memes.
Yeah, I know. Single, taken, and then we have
here.
Standards ruined so severely by fictional monster women that members of my own species no longer interest me. Okay. All right, that's too much.
The whole thing with the monster girls is that is really the thing. That they look. It's the whole don't judge a book by its cover thing, if you will.
I think
monster on the outside, but wonderful girl on the inside. The problem with all the SJW girls is even when they do look good on the outside, the monsters are inside.
Yes, we got the joke. Yeah.
All right. I want to.
But I seem to have to explain others, so I just did this one.
This is a very well done, drawn meme. I do like that. That's pretty cool. I want a guy who has an 8-inch peepee and 6-pack abs. I want a guy that makes 6 figures and is at least 6 feet. I want a girl. I don't know, man. You're asking for too much.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Whew. Standards. Rednecks. I just want me a cowgirl. Yeah, me too. Anyway. Told Dad I'm a tranner?
Tranner. I think that's the term for real tranny, and the one for the fake ones is troon.
Oh my god!
I'm not in the know of this. This is a new thing that happened while I wasn't looking.
Don't worry, we're never going to adapt those terms. Dad gives me a hug. He said, "You're going to be the ugliest girl I've ever seen, but I'm here for you, sweetie."
Oh,
thanks, Dad.
Oh.
You ever see that Vine or like that short video or like meme where it's like a girl watching a video of like a dad like consoling his daughter saying, you're not ugly, you're the beautiful girl I've ever seen, and then she walks over to her dad, she goes, am I pretty? And he goes, no. And it's like this middle year like some like Turkish father just goes, no, you're ugly.
All right. Manners. Even vampires have them. Ah, yes. Rosario. I'm a Twitter user. What does that mean? It means they're afraid of fictional beings. No, it doesn't. Fictional noises. Stop it, Japan. You're scaring them. And then Japan has hentai noises. Oh, boy. Japan is too pure for us. Joe Crazy. Sundar Pizza at Domino's. Baka sauce? What? What is this? Oh boy, I would eat that pizza. It looks kind of weird. Too many things on it. She's way too unrealistic. Do men actually expect women to look like this? I must head to the gym at this very moment to look like him.
Yeah, standards.
Yeah, well,
men have them.
We watched ZachReads. We're like, okay, I gotta stop this, and then I gotta go hit play and get my weights. Okay, here we go. I work in an oil field. WTF is this? That's awesome. And that's the remake. That's the fourth girl there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. Also, Ray's boobs are bigger.
That's a problem. That's incorrect. It's not accurate.
No, it's a good adaptation.
Oh, it's a good the adaptation argument strikes again. Oh. We couldn't do that in normal animation. We have to do it in the new animation. All right. What the hell is going on here? I think if anyone who was Super Saiyan smacked a girl in the ass, there would be a smear on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Oh, tomboys are the grossest fucking aesthetic. Either transition or to male or step out. What? Tomboys?
Yeah, that's what these people think. They think tomboys are trans.
What? No.
Yes, and they're trying to brainwash them as teens already, telling them you are into boys' activities. That means you are trans, so you must transition so that you don't kill yourself.
I've seen some really hot tomboys. I don't know what they
do this, and they scare the parents into believing that.
Oh, okay.
This is really dangerous.
Or like girls who like sports. Not even just tomboys. Girls who like sports. They're trying to like push them into like anything they perceive as being boys, and then reverse anything they see, anything that's guys' interest that women typically have interest in.
Oh, there's something coming together here.
Well, when he
wait. There's something coming together here. While at the same time we saw this in this video, that at the same time they want to tell women that feminine things are bad. So what's left for them? Well, boys stuff. And once they're into boy stuff, they will tell them, oh, you're a tomboy, you must transition because you're into male stuff. And thus 100% of the girls would, if we follow this through, would be sterilized.
Well, that's a bit extreme. I was laughing at
it's just following this logic through to its final conclusion.
I was recalling the first 10 seconds of his video where he says men like the anime girls because they're demure and we can dominate them or something. And I'm like, well, that could be for some people, but I like perfectly normal looking girls that are tall and strong and not demure. So I don't know. Yeah, where they're getting this generalized statement about conservative men looking at anime women or girls. All right. What the hell is... Oh, that's him.
Yeah, that's him. Yeah, no tits.
Conservatives will say this is a woman. What?
Yeah, but see, this is what I mean. He fetishizes femininity by dressing up like a girl, but complains that women who are just pretty are internalizing misogyny or some bullshit by fetishizing feminine looks.
So dressing up in drag, guys.
This guy belongs into a closed mental hospital.
Yeah.
Perfect example. The picture on the left there, his shoulders are too broad.
Some girls have wide shoulders. Some girls do have wide shoulders.
Yes, some, but still.
Yeah, but if you know this is a guy, and I don't have to either bother to analyze the feminine values, you're going to be like, no thanks.
Yeah. So I'm looking at this. I don't believe those lips are natural.
The chin is giving it away. The chin is giving it away.
Yeah.
Oh, there's more. Poltards. I don't know what a
no,
poltard is. Posting their L's in my YouTube comments.
Political.
Political.
It's the
Pol-
4chan
Pol-
board
Polish
for
cartoon.
politics.
Okay, you will never be a woman. That's.
Yeah, but this guy also doesn't aim for that.
I'm not sure what this
Yeah,
guy's
it's
aiming
just
for.
it's
He-
just people in his chat.
Just
What I
so-
heard was in the video was him admitting to be non-binary, and that is simply nothing. That's just a nicer word so that he doesn't have to admit to himself that he is the fetishist.
You're a mad dude. You have too much testosterone. How do people even manage to watch videos like this with some uncanny guy disguised as a chick constantly on screen? I am a tranny. Why won't Nazis mate me instead of kawaii anime? What? Okay, that's enough. All right. You'll never be
Well, I
able to
can see why these things would come.
sneed
would
feed and
happen.
dilate. Sneed feed.
Oh God.
You will never be a woman. Troon? Troon? What's a troon?
Yeah, true, not a fake trannies.
Oh,
The ones that try to groom people into being tranny as well.
all right. This is the mechanist who always changes the topic, so I don't know what we're doing here. I picked Delphox because I realized that she's a kitsune, so she might eat my face, causing me to
What the
wear a
fuck?
mask, but her fire can help me forge an iron mask,
I
and her being French makes me the true king of France. Kurumi is just me being normal. What the hell did I just
What?
read?
bad
Why
wife.
would you
She's
want to be the
French.
king of France? You're gonna get beheaded.
I am. Did you take your meds?
Kurumi, okay.
Mechanics, you chose the wrong wife. She's French.
Yeah. All right. Daria,
I'm
not a
very
dog,
confused.
but I have a parrot who keeps dead naming me
oh yeah.
no matter how much I correct him. I started. don't parrots just parrot what you say to them?
Yes, but no. Here's the thing:
Yes.
parrots are a very habitual animal. So once they learn something, they don't stop.
Yeah.
You can't teach a parrot not to say something, which is why there's the joke of like teaching parrots at pet stores to swear,
Yeah.
because once they do it, they're not going to stop. You can't
So-
unteach a parrot.
So Daria,
Yeah, and the thing is, people who have known you for years will also have trouble calling you the new thing, especially if you're not passing. And you expect a dumb bird that is smart for a bird, but it's still just a dumb bird to be better at that than something that humans fail at.
I do like
Fucking pathetic.
the big giant parrot. Where's my cracker, Jeremy?
But yeah, it's a common thing
mean-
because parrots they're extremely habitual creatures. Like if you break their daily routines, they have a flip out. Like you can't do that to a bird.
Oh, that's cute. My mom saw my figure and wrapped tissue paper around it. Oh, that's
It's from Read Zero. I can't remember which one it is.
yeah.
It's probably her in a bikini.
If you want to laugh
It's
at
cute. It's
Twitter
cute dress.
shenanigans, and I know this manga. I read it. I like it. Announcement of a new manga volume, Isekai Mikyaku de Harem. Yeah, it's literally about a harem, but there's only 2 girls. Twitter crop makes it look like this character has dark skin when actually it's just a body stocking. What? A body stocking?
The one on
That's
the left
just-
is
it just
the
goes
correct
up.
one.
It's just the whole pantyhose goes up until just under her boobs.
Oh, I
Like
see.
the black,
Those things
the
exist.
brown part on her skin is like a
It's
skin
just
tight
fabric.
bodysuit.
Yeah.
It's just fabric.
Because if you see her arms and her arms and her head are a different color.
Yeah, the manga, I don't recall coloring her specifically one shade or another, but she does have rather long hair. I do recall that. It's a good, it's interesting isekai. It's power fantasy, of course, but very simple. Not a real anime, just fan art. I just thought that it looks cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, well, so the joke with that being is what the name of the anime of that series is, which is Slave Harem in the Labyrinth, and they darken the skin of the character in that manga. That's the joke there that they were laughing at.
Oh, okay. It's a good manga. There's so many isekais like that, though. It's just you get lost.
Yeah, no, it's just that they were saying that it was so hilarious that they darkened the skin of this character in a slave.
Right.
Yeah, that was the thing that people going.
All right. Well, here is a cross between Sailor Moon and Buffy, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know.
It's cool, though. I like
Does
it.
she have green eyes?
Serena has blue eyes, I think. Oh, God.
This at least looks better than the... This looks better than the actual show.
A Hassan Piker fanboy. Another Hassan Merc fit in solidarity with our fallen Master Chef content? What? Master Chef?
Oh, because Twitch, because all the big Twitch streamers, they're lazy, and they just started watching copywritten content, and then they got copyright struck. Surprise, surprise. And then they started bitching and moaning that they couldn't just sit there and watch other people's content, adding nothing.
Communists are thieves.
No, it wasn't just Hassan. It was all the...
I know, but a lot of them believe in the socialist crap.
All right. Time to die, American scum. I can't
too.
believe it. Killed it by a Nazi. No, don't. I came from 2022 to stop you. Don't call him a Nazi just because you disagree with him. What?
But what?
Wait,
this is not actually Stone Toss.
No.
Yeah, this is Stone Toss. Someone edited this
For sure.
and this is them trying to say that this is a right winger because of the hat, obviously.
Here we go.
Making excuses.
Hey, Poltards, I've seen this movie before. Stop posting your L's in my comments or I'll call your moms like I did last time. Oh, wow. Big scary words there. Change my mind. All the gripers commenting that you're...
Groypers are the fanboys of Nick Fuentes.
Whatever. Commenting that you're too masculine to wear feminine clothes are just experiencing post-nut shame after looking at your pics. Oh, yeah. Pretty cool how Pax's video went from why people like anime girls to why women should wait until marriage. Really puts his taste of women into perspective. What?
Yeah, I don't trust that that's what it came down to, because these people, you don't trust the word they say.
Very sussy that their ideal woman are minors.
There it is.
Oh,
there's
God.
the pedo bit.
What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, this is the next bit of projection. So yes, most anime is about teenagers because that's the main demographic. Just like most cartoons in the West are for kids. However, 16-year-olds liking 16-year-olds on screen is not a problem. Secondly, those are developed bodies. All these socialists that we've seen and that this asshole is also simping for, this fetishist is simping for, they are real pedos who are into minor boys. Probably also minor girls with undeveloped bodies.
Who the hell thinks
that is scary shit?
This is a weird. Tomboys are the grossest aesthetic. Either transition to male or step out. What a weird take.
This is the thing I pulled from the Patreon of this guy, where at the moment where he complained about, women have internalized misogyny where they fetishize looking feminine, and this is a selfie from him, like this other picture of him going for this in this case sexualized feminine look. He is doing the thing he accuses the women of, and those lips are definitely he definitely had an operation for that. This is a full-time fetishist. He accuses women of fetishizing looking like women.
So Wisp comment about
I don't think you can repair that brain.
So Wisp comment about people wanting to marry animated characters for real reminded me of this article from a few years back. Japanese man marries anime hologram of Hatsune Miku. Oh yeah, I remember that.
I guess he's really happy.
Yeah, whatever works for you, buddy. More videos on Last of Us. Nope, not gonna watch that.
Where are you right now?
We live in a society.
Go down.
I hate manure.
Where even are you? Oh, you skipped over a few.
Totally not a fetishist. Okay, do I look villainous to you? Look retarded. That's what you look like.
Where even are you?
What is this look you're going for? I'm wearing a short skirt. Like,
he's trying to do the goth thing, but he's not pulling it off at all.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, but this guy is not trans. This is a fetishist.
Transphobes don't get to sit on my lap.
With body modification.
Why the hell would you want to sit on this person's lap? What would possess anyone to do that?
Yeah, and this guy is not trans. Because of assholes like this, people with real gender dysphoria are not taken seriously anymore or are now feared.
Now, if this person wants to be a female, why would men want to sit on a woman's lap? That doesn't make any sense.
This is someone who's flaunting not being a real woman.
I don't get it.
And that is not what someone with real gender dysphoria would do. This is a fetishist who's riding on the trans label.
There we go. There's a nice husky girl. Yeah. I have no idea what her name is, but yeah.
The first one is it's Chocho. That's Choji's daughter from in Boruto.
Really cool stuff. I haven't watched Boruto.
The first 150 episodes are all just filler crap, and then once it because the manga was so new, so they decided to front load all the filler so they could just focus on the actual story.
So here's a healthy girl having all kinds of food, and this is like the best kind of date imaginable. This is perfect. Like everything you want is right there in this picture. It's like, yeah. This girl, how happy she is. Like, oh my god. Oh boy. Me when that guy made his feminism is constructive comment unironically. Yeah. Yeah, we know. Oh, are we at the end? No, we're not. Don't feel the need to play this one on stream. Yeah, I haven't played any of the videos at all. I haven't touched them. Oh, we're at the last one. Joe Crazy. Responsible but not too overprotective dad who disabled her Twitter access. Tomboy restoration machine. I understand I'm not gay or FTM. I'm a cute girl.
Yep.
Pretty much.
Alrighty. Well, that was
don't listen to communist fetishists.
Yeah, that was a weird one. That was like
every
well, not every take was bad, but every passionate take was bad. Let's say that. As if the programming just started playing in his head. You're like, oh dear, you have a series of problems, sir.
I don't know, like somewhere at the beginning of the video, I realized like where it was going, so it was just a chore to get through.
Yeah,
but the fact that like he's a fan of his son, it's just it speaks in volumes.
That's the problem. They all go the exact same direction, and we know we can see it coming a mile away, and we just kind of all go, "Oh God, this again."
I don't bother to try and figure them out. I just go, "Oh, that's not for me," and don't think about it ever again.
Like at least like some of the royalties videos were like funny because how insane they were, but this absolutely not entertaining.
All right, well, guys, I don't know why conservative men love anime girls. I could say they look attractive and aesthetically pleasing.
Do we even know if this person was conservative?
Well,
it's the person that was originally covered.
Possibly a Nazi, therefore conservative. That's about as far as it goes. So, anyway, that was anime. Anime manga weeb day. Thanks, guys. That was different. I enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed this video because it's so dumb. And I wish we had some logic to follow, but it was just, nope, this is a talking point. Feminism is good, and everything I say is correct. You're like, no. That's not. The ranting about animation was a bit off. I'm like, okay, yeah, it's not as big a deal in the Western world as in the East, but you know, you're not going to just suddenly make amazing animation. Everyone's going to buy it because there's no market for it specifically.
Yeah, the only reason this guy is saying that PAX is conservative is just because he, has like stuff about like saying like you're wrong about Confederate monuments or pornography can destroy your mind or the abortion thing, or
well, if you look at this guy, yeah, porn probably has destroyed his mind.
Yeah, like it's stuff that conservatives do talk about, but that doesn't mean that that's conservative. He can just be like, okay, I'm inputting, but I'm gonna bet he probably is, just because also like his channel description is he makes videos analyzing cultural, religious, and political subjects, and most of the stuff he's talking about, like, you know, abortion.
Well, on some of the stuff we have data.
Yeah. But yeah, like, I mean, if the guy's conservative, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that, obviously.
Well, I wish we got a positive look at that, because we just got this weird rant about animation and men and fetishizing women, which is like, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, well, I mean, the guy's videos, the Why People Like Anime Girls is only 10 minutes long. So if people want to go look at Pax's stuff, like, he's only got a few, he's got a bunch of videos, but I mean, they're short. I'm just looking at his channel right now. I'm just saying, like, because I'd never heard of this guy, obviously, before. But him, like...
Yeah, I'll probably watch Pax's video.
His video, this person, the Conure's video or whatever, was a great, like, hey, look at this great channel. Go check him out, because he didn't make... As hard as he tried to make him look bad, he didn't.
It's kind of like when Wash was covering LiteratureDevil and making such an idiot of himself that the chat was going against him.
Yeah, I remember that.
All right.
Glorious.
Well, let us continue on with the night, whatever we're up to. Go to bed, do some work, play a game, whatever your thing is. Go for it.
Do something sane.
Yeah. Have a good one. Have a drink. Take it easy. Go to bed.
Have a steak.
Well, maybe not this late. It's kind of too much for your stomach. But if you really are pumping away the iron, then yeah, okay, get some protein going. Good idea. But thank you guys for tuning in. That was almost 2.5 hours of us listening to a crazy person. As always, we'll talk to you later. Have a great one. Bye-bye.
Bye.